first look seminar, and I am your host for at least the next 37 seconds until my computer goes out. But Gino Bacola, it seems as if we are doing these pick six carryovers on a weekly basis now, my friend.
Yeah, it's been, I think, the third or fourth week in a row we've had to do a Thursday preview for the Friday card because we have a pick six carryover, $45,000 carried over into the pool. We're projecting it to be about a $350,000 pick six pool. There's also a Sunset Six carryover if you love to play those wagers between Gulfstream and Santa Anita. So while we're all really excited, Georgie, for Big Cap Saturday, we're going to have a big Friday to build the bankroll for Big Cap Saturday.
Yeah, it's really exciting because the whole weekend is spectacular. I mean, obviously, Friday with the carryovers is going to be great. The whole weekend, we got the Big Cap. We got Brandt against So Happy. We got Fiesta Santa Anita with Lucha Libre, my favorite, guys flying through the air.
Absolutely. And you and I heard, are the guys in the Lucha Libre masks. It's going to be you and me wrestling each other.
That would be great.
Yeah.
You would do that, by the way, wouldn't you? Both of you would.
Sure. Absolutely we would.
And speaking of that, the only person who I know could not lose to either of you two, Seminar Skip joins us once again. What's happening, Skipper?
On camera. It's on video.
How you guys doing? Yeah, looking forward to a great weekend, and we kick things off tomorrow with the Big Six carryover and the Sunset Six carryover. So hopefully we could get lucky tomorrow and be ready for Big Cap Saturday.
And Gino, obviously tomorrow's a big day. Maybe this could be the bankroll builder for Saturday. So much going on Saturday. 11 races. First post is at noon, by the way. But what a big day for this weekend, Gino, in perfect weather to boot.
Yeah, as George was pointing out, some of the events happening on track. You got the Craft Beer Festival, Fiesta de Santa Anita. Hey, bring the kids, the family fun zone out there, right? They got a place to run around. I'm going to try to bring Milo out there this weekend. He can play out in the infield, California Motorcycle Show. And then the fun wagers that we love, the pick'em contest, they're there. But the racing action, the 4 graded stakes races that we have early in the card, you're going to see the Breeders' Cup winner, Splendora, the Filly and Mare Sprint winner. Can she win the Beholder Mile? And we have a big scratch in the Big Cap. Skippy Longstocking wasn't able to get on the plane and come over. But all of a sudden, that race is really intriguing because you're going to have a heavy favorite who's never won a graded stakes race, just a touch. He's never been a mile and a quarter. He has a lot of holes you can kind of poke if you're trying to beat the favorite. So, yeah, it's a really strong card. That's all tomorrow. That's what we call in the business a little bit of a tease.
That is a tease in the business. And like you said, we can win some money right now with this big pick six carryover. And then Saturday, Sunday should be terrific. Odd times, just to let everybody know, we'll talk about this again, but first post tomorrow, 12:30. First post on Saturday, because the 11 race of the big card is noon. Then we time change on Sunday. So the first post is at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So we got all 3 days different first posts, but hey, it'll be nice to get a little light back in our world again on Sunday, huh, Gino?
And we'll remind you, that's what we're here for. We'll keep you adjusted with the different post times, and we'll let you know when they're getting ready to rock and roll. But yeah, we have hopefully a pick six. I mean, can you imagine if this thing carried over into the Saturday card? Wow. That would be incredible. We know at the very least we'll be back tomorrow night to preview the late pick 5 and all of the great things happening on Big Cap Day. But let's see if we can hit this pick 6, and then we're the ones that have the big bankroll for Saturday.
That's right. All right, I'm going to give this a shot. So far, so good, I think. If you guys start to not hear me, just give me the thumbs down. But tomorrow's pick 6 with the carryover starts in race 4. 6 furlongs, Calbreds here. Georgie, let's start with you. You look like you're chomping at the bit to get to this. What are we looking at in race 4?
I'm singling right off the bat because I think it's hittable today. I love Fianello. I love the way Jaramillo is running. Steve Knapp is doing great as well. This one's been on a steady diet of stakes races and actually gets Lasix for the first time ever. So a lot of positives in this corner. By far the best thoroughbred numbers, and they were against significantly tougher. It's a single for me right off the bat with the cutback in distance. Fionello, Mamma Mia, is going to be my single.
All right, so Georgie's singling right off the bat. Skip, obviously, from the rail. This horse is going to be rolling late. But you got any other thoughts in here? There is some speed in here. Obviously, Tommy Norris very fast.
Yeah, Fionello should be tough. The class drop. I don't like the rail draw, but definitely the class of the race, first-time Lasix. I tell you what, I really like the way number 3, Aliquin Summer, won last time. Ran really professionally. They claimed this horse for $30,000 at Keeneland. That raced at Keeneland. It was bumped. It was steady. That was a sneaky good race. I know it lost by 10 3/4 lengths, but the winner almost won by 5. This horse did not run that bad that day. And they do the ship and win. They claimed it. They shipped it to Santa Anita for the Calbred and won very nicely. I really like the way he won. The 3 is definitely going to be on my ticket. And, when Labrado Baraccio gets hot, you just got to go with them. So I'm going to go 3 deep in here. Tommy Norris should be the speed at the outside. I know Southern Melody might push it. I think the 3 and the 1 will get the great trip, but I just can't leave the 4 off the ticket either. So 1, 3, 4 for me.
1, 3, 4 for Skip. I'm kind of looking the same way as that. Gino, I'm considering the 5. I hate going 4 deep in a 6-horse field, but this isn't the easiest way to start. What are your thoughts?
The way you said his name, I thought he was calling him Lebrando Baraccio. I was like, oh, when LeBron gets hot, Lebrando. I like that. What makes the race a little tricky is the 4-5 combo, right? Because they're both quick. And yeah. I hate races like this where it's like one of the 2 of them is going to get the lead or they're battling. And if one goes and the other doesn't, then all of a sudden that other one is tough. What's funny is they faced each other twice and Southern Melody beat Tommy Norris both times. But the problem I have, look at the gap in the works for Southern Melody from January 31st to February 23rd. So this horse was getting ready to come back and then missed maybe 2 or 3 works. So now I'm a little bit cautious of Southern Melody. At least 1 and 3 for me. George talked about Fionello, the races he's coming out of. They're way better. First time Lasix, back to a dirt sprint. What's funny is the 3 is the only horse in the race that we know can pass horses at a sprint distance. It's the only one. The other horses are going longer. Fionello's only win came in his debut going 4.5. He's never really passed horses at all. Tommy Norris and Southern Melody, they don't want to pass horses. What a Gift is going to be way out of this race early on. I think it's going to be a little too far back. I kind of process of elimination just got to Aliquin Summer as being a horse who could get a nice setup. 1, 3 for sure for me, depending on the rest of the ticket, but those are the 2 I need.
I really believe that the 4, 5, and the 6.
Yeah,
they're all going to try to go
the Los Al horse, right?
Yeah,
that horse only has shorter races. Yeah,
they're going to kill each other. They have to. And the 3 just don't. I mean, Paula Capestro to me, doesn't win a lot of races, and so I have little confidence in her. So that's why I'm really strong about singling the 1.
It's a good spot on paper for Fionello. Like it really does
George,
look like.
Yeah. Well, you make a good point about Aliquin Summer as well, but George, you don't think Tommy Norris has a puncher's chance?
Oh,
ooh, yeah, I like it.
He's really getting paid today.
If he wins, I'm going to be knocked out of the pick 6.
Oh, but that would be such a black eye for this show,
Oh Lord! All right, all right. Let's quit while we're behind. Let's go on to race 5. Skip, leg 2, maiden special weights again. Calbreds here, going a mile, full field of 9. What are your thoughts here, Skip?
I'm going to mention the 5, Pure Chaos, first and foremost. This horse was coming off a little break from November to January, broke from the rail, and boy, it had a brutal trip. Was in tight on the turn. It was behind horses boxed in. It finally got out late. It finished nice with a good gallop out. This horse will like the added distance. I know it's raced a couple times at this distance before. Hasn't really done anything, but maybe the break did it good. There's not a lot of speed in here. This horse could be on the lead, or it could be close to the lead, I think. I think the 5 will get a great trip. And boy, if it runs back to that last race, it should be very tough. Another one I'm going to use is a 3, Tis Sunrise. I like the way that this horse came off the break from July to January. That was a good race. It got beat a length. I know it got beat by Suntory Time in here, but I like the way that Tis Sunrise ran better that day. They raced again the last time, and Tis Sunrise got beat by a couple other ones, Suntory Time and Jenny's Wine Girl. So I don't know if it bounced a little bit or what, but I still like the way that she finished. She came back to work twice after that race, the 22nd and the 28th. I couldn't see those works on first bet, but I like the 3. I like the price at 10-1. 3 and 5 for sure on my ticket. I don't know about the 7. It looks great on paper, right? Going 6 furlongs. It's not really bred to get the mile distance. It's bred to be more of a sprinter, but it has come running late. But just because they come running home late like that doesn't mean they're going to stretch out. This horse looks to me, and listen, I've been wrong plenty of times, and I'm sure I'll be wrong plenty of more times. She looks more like a sprinter to me. That's just my opinion. You guys might have a different opinion. I'm not using the 7. I'm going to use the 8. Ran really good last time coming to that race where it got second, or, in Sun Story Time got third. And then the other horse that I like, Tis Sunrise, was in there and got 4th. I'm going to use those. I'm going 3, I'm going 5, I'm going 6, and I'm going 8. I'm going 4 deep and checking out the favorite.
All right. So 3, 5, 6, 8 it for Skip. And Gino, one thing about the 7 adverse selection, whether you use or not, and I'm going to ask you if you like this horse, she's going to get a lot of action. She had trouble both times. All of a sudden, JJ shows up here. And even though Andy Mathis has had a tough meet, we know he's a very good trainer. I think this horse is going to get pounded. That doesn't mean I think she's going to win, but I think she's going to take a ton of action here. What do you think there, Gino?
I very much agree. She's going to get hit hard. And I have probably 5, 7, 8 on my ticket. I like the 5 a lot that Skip started with, Pure Chaos. I think the 7 will come running. We'll see. The thing that worries me is, I don't really like any of the closers that much. That's kind of where I had a hard time, because Tis Sunrise and Suntory Time, they're probably the horses that get a really good setup. I didn't love either of their last races that much. I thought they were both okay. And that doesn't mean they can't be better. So that's kind of why I give adverse selection of the new face that's a closer a look. But I hope the 5 can sit 3rd. That would be perfect, I think, for Pure Chaos, because I wonder if the inside 2 horses go. Sally's Wish is stretching out from those sprint races, and then you've got Dancing Till Dawn, who showed a little bit of speed. I think those 2 go. I would love Pure Chaos to just track in right behind them and Jenny's Wine Girl. Those 2 horses sitting in that next flight. Maybe. So I'm going to have 5, 7, and 8 as my main horses in this leg.
Okay. So, before we get to you, Georgie, one thing to remind everybody too, on a day like this, the rails are at 30 feet. They're going to be out. So pay attention to that. Sometimes that has a little advantage towards the speed. They're always going to be out the day before a big race, no matter what. It's amazing how good this turf course stays year round. It's unbelievable, but the rails are still out. So, Georgie, what are your thoughts here in race 5?
With the rail out 30 feet, you always have to be careful for a horse running between the actual rail and the new rail. There's a big gap there. Horses love running there. You notice that, Gino?
Yep. That's the great thing about the race track too. You always are I've never seen that. There's always one thing that you never thought you would see, and then it happens. And I've been watching races for 35 years.
All the time. 55 years. I've never seen that ever.
Yep. My dad called me and said the same thing. He was like, "Did you see what just happened? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that." And it's so funny. We all have those wow, baseball is the same way. Like you'll watch baseball and it'll be kind of boring. And then all of a sudden there's a triple play or the craziest thing will happen out of nowhere, right? That has never happened in a game since 1922 or something,
And that's always a testament to me when I see something like that where people go, oh, they force these horses to run. That horse loves to go. You love to run. Horses love to run. That's what they love. That's what they're born to do. And so it was great. Let me just show you. I don't know if you can read this, but this is my Santa Anita hoy. Adverse selection, la mejor apuesta del día. El número 7, la mejor apuesta del día. Best bet of the day for me is adverse selection.
I was gonna say, did we hit the SAP button on the remote for a second on action?
So I'm going to start off right off the bat with 2 singles, and then I'm going to spread like crazy in the other races. But this horse, come on, but she closed like the Dickens last time out, and she gets a monumental jockey upgrade. I mean, I like the kid Arantes. He's no JJ, and that's when Andy Mathis goes to JJ. That's a big sign for me. This filly is ready. And she looks like a runner who's screaming for added distance. She might turn out to be just a sprint, closing sprinter. But today I'm singling her with JJ aboard. And I just think she's going to love the added distance. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So that's why we do this thing. I mean, we skippers toss and chuck them out, Dave Weaver style, and Georgie's singling. And for those of you under the age of 50, close like the Dickens means that the horse actually flew late, right? So that's old man translation to you younger generation out there. Close like the Dickens.
Young whippersnapper, close like the Dickens.
I used to have that on T-shirts. When I was in the 1970s, George was sitting on his Davenport watching a horse close like the Dickens.
With his bifocals, yeah.
All right, let's move. With his rotary phone to the wall. All right, Gino, let's move on to race 6. Another Calbred race here, maiden special weights, this time going 6.5 furlongs on the main. What are your thoughts here?
So Blame It on Jack from the inside is probably going to get a little bit of money, but this is a barn who used to be really good with first-time starters, and the last few years have just not been quite as much. 11 for 187 over the last 5 years, so that's 6%. The last 2 years, 3 for 62, and I think 0 for the last 50 with first-time starters for the Peter Miller barn. Just something to point out, and because this is a live horse.
Amazing.
But those are crazy numbers. He used to win so many maiden claimers at Del Mar, first time out of the box with horses firing right away all the time, and high maiden 50s all the time, right? But so that was something with wow. And kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, Carla Gaines was someone who used to never win with first time starters. Her numbers were like that. They were 3 for 100 when you would go through them. They've gotten a lot better over the last few years, up to 10%. She's 7 for 80. I think 3 for the last 30, right? That's 10%. That's a solid number with first-time starters. I like the works I saw from this horse on First.TV. February 13th was fast from the gate, was outside. On February the 20th, worked inside a horse named Minister Shane. 2 siblings, both winners. One won the debut. So now I'm checking off a few boxes, right? This barn is kind of solid and a little bit better than you might think with first-timers. Visually, I like the 2 works that I saw. And then pedigree-wise, there's some precocity there, and the pedigree is decent. The 6 horse, just feel like this horse is going to run so much better second time out of the box. Galloping Ghost completely missed the break, was last of 7, was on the rail, did not show much down inside, and was chasing a lone speed winner, Tommy Norris, who we were just talking about, right? But this horse got action in the debut. So just put a line right through that race. Don't be discouraged by it. You want to use the horse right back. There aren't any works on First TV recently to see, but you just expect this horse is going to be way better coming out of the gate second time out. I think I'm pretty logical here, Chappie. Probably just 3, 5, 6 for me with those 3.
3, 5, 6. Georgie, you got plenty of room now. You're already 2 singles in. What are your thoughts here?
So, I mean, this is like an incredibly mediocre race. None of these catch my eye, not one of them. And so my top pick is Matt on at 5 because of the reasons Gino said, the great workouts. Blame it on Jack. I'm picking them because the ones that have run really have not impressed at all. You got to use Galloping Ghost. So, I mean, my thoughts are I'm going to use all. I was thinking of throwing out Omission, but that would be the dreaded all.
You can't omit. You can't omit Omission.
Omission, yeah,
right? Come on, like that would be a slap right in the face, you know.
No, I'm probably going to use them all, because I'm not going to go over. And even the 4, Alfredo Marquez.
You can't omit Omission, right? Omission.
You can't omit Omission. Alfredo Marquez is a super excellent trainer, super excellent, and so I don't want to leave him off either. And just a mediocre race that anybody can win, and hopefully we'll catch a price.
Skipper?
I'm going to go 4 deep in here. I'm going to put the 1 on the ticket. I know Peter Miller hasn't done well. Gino just went over all the percentages and the stats there. But we weren't able to see this work. But on the 15th of February, 112 at San Luis Rey Downs, that's moving right along. That's a good workout over there. This horse has to have some run. I don't like the rail, but I'm going to use the 1. I'm not going to use the 3. I just didn't like the way it ran last time. I know it probably needed the race because the workout pattern is spotty, like it December 17th, December 28th, then didn't work or run until it worked again January 24th. January 31st, then it ran on the 7th, comes back with 2 works. I guess if I have room, I'll throw it in, but I'm kind of against that one. I tell you what, the sneaky one is the 4. I liked the work on the 21st. It kind of stumbled at the start, breaking out of the gate. This horse rushed up on the inside. They never asked this horse. This horse ran sneaky good, turned it for home, switched leads without asking, and they just kind of the jock was standing up on it. I like that. It hasn't missed a beat in the morning. That horse is sneaky to me. I love the 20-1. Gino said the 5. Matt at 5. Carla Gaines. This horse had 2 really good works. One of them was on the dirt and one was on the Tapeta. I like the work on the 13th and the 20th. Hector Barrios jumps aboard. That's her go-to guy. 5 is going to be on the ticket, and I'm using the 6 too. Look at the workout pattern with the 6. It worked December 29th. It didn't run or work until January 18th. It had to need that last race, right? It was off slow. Then it came back after it ran on the 7th, and it worked twice, the 21st and the 28th. Kind of the same thing I said about the 3, but I said I probably wasn't going to use the 3. The 6 does the same thing. I like the 6 over the 3. I'm going 1, 4, 5, 6.
All right, so 1, 4, 5, 6, and we all kind of think this is probably not the greatest rendition of a maiden special weight here, and a little bit of Spreadsville, I think, for everybody. No one's using the 7. I'm not either. After 10 starts, 6 seconds, but that horse might be able to win just because no one seems all that.
There's nobody that scares you, right? And they'll be out front, but yeah, it's a step up in class.
Yeah. We're back to you, Georgie, I think, right? Race 7. No.
So, I take into account what other people.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I think it just started getting a little delayed for you now, Chappie, just the last minute or so. But yeah, that I think you're kind of that's the problem.
He's a front runner, and
Yes. Well, he's cheap speed. I was gonna say first few races, and then he's out. Then he's out.
Lucky gun.
There we go. So Georgie, start us off here. The 7th race, going a mile and an 1/8 on the turf course.
So I told you I like reading other people's handicapping skills or whatever, and I'm not. I read an article where they said City exiles a single, a strong handicapper that I like, and I just can't see him as a single. I can't see it. I know Papadromo is ridiculously on fire. And he claimed City Exile and immediately got him to run to win. But it was a win against non-winners of 3 lifetime. It was not, there's horses in here, Dicey Mochara, Twirling Point. They've all been right there against City Exile. I mean, and they've been, facing some tough hombres. And so definitely not a single for me. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 6. And I'm hoping that the 6 doesn't win because he'll probably be the favorite. And he's getting people saying he's a single. And I don't see him as a single because Twirling Point was right there against him. Dicey Mochara ranked great last time against Centro Delantero. I mean, Centro Delantero was super well meant that day. And Dicey Mochara almost got him at 8-1. Twirling Point's got great thoroughgraph numbers. So does Wizard of Westwood. And Michael McCarthy is just another trainer that's just phenomenal. And so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 6. And I hope to beat the 6.
Chappie, Skippy, what made this race a little tough for me was from a pace standpoint, there's not that much early speed. I don't really know who's going to go. I'm going to use the 1 because I feel like the 1 is going to get a good trip. It is going to be forward from that inside draw. And if we look at the last 4 races that Wizard of Westwood comes out of, was behind Hiding in Honduras, who is now 3 for 4. That's a really nice horse who's lightly raced and only raced 4 times. A Tietlin came out of that race, the San Luis Rey, and won a grade 2 in the next start. Gold Phoenix, who was in that race, is a grade 1 winner, multiple graded stakes winner. Prior to that, El Patente is going to be favored on Saturday in the grade 2 Kilroe Mile. El Patente is a multiple graded stakes winner. Prior to that, you've got First Mission. First Mission was like a top tier older handicap horse who was in graded stakes races at the highest levels. I think Wizard of Westwood has been facing way better company than this race right here. And I think should be now second start back after a long layoff. He was off from March all the way to February. So he had to need that race. Now he can be in a cozy spot inside. He can save all the ground. And he was parked out wide in his last race too, Skippy. I'm going to probably try to lean on 1 and 6. I think in this race, I do think the 6 is the horse to beat, but I agree with George. I couldn't single, especially with a race where the pace is like this. I need at least one other in here. For me, the Wiz of Westwood and the 6. How about for you, Skippy?
I'm going to take a stand in here. I'm singling the 1. The class of the race obviously needed that last race. Wide trip. Kind of a weird, sneaky ride. Jaramillo was parked out there wide. It broke from the 10 hole. Going in the first turn was wide. Backstretch was wide.
He tried to tuck in and he really couldn't, right? Because he was out there and you just sort of get caught in no man's land.
Right. And then turning for home. These other horses are passing them, and Genius Jimmy and Hiding Honduras are going on with it. Jaramillo didn't really, he kind of chirped this horse. Once they straightened out, and he kind of went and he kind of chirped it a couple more times. Then he kind of tied up on it. It looked like this horse needed that race. I'm hoping that's why it did. I think today it came back with a pretty fast work at San Luis Rey on the 28th, 48-1. I think all systems are go. I think they're going to send this horse from the rail with Jaramillo and say, try to catch me if you can. And I'm going to take a shot and single the 1.
I like that.
Yeah, I hope you're right. It's a smart, and it's a, I don't think a lot of people will be singling in this race. And if they do, it will be the other horse, probably the 6th. So this is a good separator in a pick 6 sequence when you're building your ticket. And as we're kind of getting through the rest of the field, the 2 or the 3 could absolutely win this race. To me, I looked at Twirling Point, 0 for the last 8 and only 1 top 3 finish in that stretch. He hasn't really been in the best of form. For our old friend Dicey Mo, 0 for the last 19. His last win was December 26th, 2022. Opening day, was that 38 months ago? More than 3 years ago. So he's not a win machine either. I think Chappie had Dicey Mo that day. That's your old buddy.
We used to love him when he was 5.
Yeah.
He's 8
exactly. Now Chappie's an ageist, unfortunately. So, he doesn't like him as they get a little bit older, but it's been a while for Dicey Mo. we all feel like Wizard of Westwood is a good horse to include. George and I will both be including City Exile. George has a couple others. Skip will lean on Wizard of Westwood. Let's turn the page. Also, don't forget that 7th race, that starts the Sunset. That's part of the Sunset 6. So the last 3 at Gulfstream and then the last 3 at Santa Anita are also in a carryover. And we're going to give you half of the work here for the preview. All you got to do is look at those Gulfstream last 3 races. 8th race here, Skippy, mile on the main track. We've got 4-year-olds and up, which started for a claiming price of $12,500 or less. It's a starter, an optional 16 starter allowance here. Joint Venture is one of the horses who will likely get a lot of support. He's been pretty consistent in and around this level. Those last 4 races are all pretty solid. So I think he's kind of a measuring stick horse for the race. If nobody else jumps up, he's probably good enough to win based on what he's been doing. What do you think about him and some of the others in here? How deep do you want to go?
You know, I think I'm going to take a stand and single Joint Venture in here also. You know, we talked about not a lot of speed the last race. Well, this race has a lot of speed. Joint Venture, that last race looked like a complete prep to me. It made a wide move on the turn. It looked like it, wide move. They didn't go real fast. The horses that were in front, Tiger in My Tank and Jaguar John, they kind of spurted away from everybody. This horse made a wide move on the turn. I like the way that it finished. I like the gallop out. This horse gets second off the break and stretches out to a distance that he prefers. And I like this horse. I like it for all those reasons. It came back to work on the 27th. I wasn't able to see that work. Ron Ellis trains it. He does very well second off the break. I think this horse gets a great setup, and it has tactical speed. If you look in the PPs, I mean, it's on the lead or right off the lead. I think this horse will get a great setup today, and I'm just hoping it needed that last race, and I'm going to single Joint Venture with all the speed in here.
Joint Venture, another single for Skip, so could have back-to-back singles here for Skippy. George, how do you want to put together the 8th race on your ticket?
All right, so obviously the pick 6 is on everybody's mind, but I'm also going to bet pick 3s ending in this race and daily doubles ending in this race to number 7, Rim Protector.
Oh, Georgie, yes. I like this horse too. Go ahead. Talk about him.
Skip said this race is filled with speed.
Yep.
Like tremendous amount of speed in this race. And he kind of hinted at it a little bit. Even Joint Venture, a little bit of speed.
Especially if they just think he's the best horse. He's stretching out from a sprint. He could just be close and making sure everybody's going a little faster early than they want to.
And then, again, I mean, I was a jockey agent. I love jockeys, but Orantes doesn't do it for me. He just doesn't do it. And so you're going to depend on him to judge where he's going to put this horse in a big field. I can't single the joint. I could use the joint. I could use a joint with the joint right now. But no, the truth is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Even because my pick is a 20-1 shot, so obviously I've been smoking.
Hey, we got high prices here in this 8th race, no doubt about it.
So the 7 is one of the few runners that I think is a closer. He likes to close, and he's been running against significantly more difficult runners. Optional claiming 50,000, optional claiming 32,000.
Look at the race, George.
What?
On the bottom of the page, he's grade 3 placed.
Grade 3 placed. This is the class of the race by far, and he's 20-1. So I don't want to miss him by using him in the pick 6 and missing the pick 6 and I get nothing. Hence, I'm ending pick 3s with him and ending the. If I'm right about him, I want to get paid. And so I'm going to use a lot of the pick 3s and stuff because he might be all a 20-1. Who knows? People going, oh, he's on the grass. I just really like Rim Protector. And I'm going to use, of course, Joint Venture because he's got great thoroughgraph numbers. But then I got to use Field of Magic, too. If I'm going to use Joint Venture, Field of Magic was right there against Joint Venture last time they met. Like less than half a length behind. So he's pretty good as well. And Resemblance has been claimed 2 times in a row. When the local trainers are claiming horses over and over, you got to pay attention. I mean, they like him. But the key for me is going to be rim protector, and I hope if he gets up, I'm going to be excited.
Georgie, I feel the magic between you and I because I've got hungry eyes. Hungry eyes. As we move right over to rim protector. Man, you go through those turf races as of late, who he's been facing. They are way better grass races. Jimmy Blue Jeans, Centro Delantero, Grogu, and those are upper level allowance horses.
I see Mochara, who we just talked about.
Way better than this group. If you're worried about the dirt form, he has 4 dirt races. One of them had 4 next out winners out of 7 opponents. It was a loaded dirt race that he was in. One of them was the Cougar, the second, going 1.5 miles on the dirt. That's like an easy race to toss. It was a graded stakes race going 1.5 miles on the dirt. The other one was a 4th place finish at Fresno, where he was really solid. And the other one was right before a 6.5 month layoff. Like, one of the dirt races was good. The other 3 legitimate excuses in way tougher races. And I think people will dismiss him because of that dirt form. They won't think he's a dirt horse, and they'll just say, no,
I'm sorry. Can I just interject? I'm sorry. I love the thoroughbred numbers. In that Bulldog, he ran a 6, the fastest number of any of these. He ran a 6. He likes the dirt. He ran a 6. If he runs that race, he wins, and that was a mistake. Anyway, go ahead. Keep going.
Big field, a lot of speed. Joint Venture's the horse to beat. Rim Protector, maybe the horse to bet for me and Georgie. The big price in here who can come running late. I thought Resemblance, is a sharp horse right now, and then Feel the Magic were the other ones for me if I'm going a little bit deeper. But George had the fun price to mention of Rim Protector in here. So hopefully Skippy got through his back-to-back singles and is alive. Coming into race number 9, 25,000 non-winners of 2 in here, going 1 mile on the turf course. Georgie, the Silly Rabbit, was the horse who I liked last time, who looked like he was a winner. He took him all the way around, but he ended up finishing second by a neck. Just got beat right on the wire. He's back in a similar situation. He cuts back from 1.125 miles to 1 mile. He'll be one of the major players in here. What do you think about the Silly Rabbit and the rest of this field? How do you want to be alive coming into this race, George?
I really needed Silly Rabbit that day.
I know.
Man.
Gosh.
How did he get caught?
He went slow, the fractions, everything he wanted to. It was just a little too far, 1.125 miles, and maybe not quite good enough.
Yeah. And again, he looks so good on paper, right? Right now. So
because
I'm going to use Silly Rabbit.
That's why he's eating his tricks right now. We heard you in there chomping away.
Yeah. Look at that. He just comes in to talk about the munchies and
wipes his mouth and then he's gone. Yeah. Okay. We're joking about the joint venture. He's really having the joint venture in there,
So I'm going to use Silly Rabbit, but
it's just fun doing this way. I am actually eating and listening now. I got cut out. So sorry. It's like, go ahead.
Hollywood Squares for Chappie. You know what I mean? He's pointing
So I'm going to use Silly Rabbit, but I just can't single him. He had everything his own way last time, and he still found a way to lose. It was really disappointing, but I have to use him. And the other one is clearly the other favorite, and getting first time JJ Hernandez is number 9, Bold Supremacy. And I think Bold Supremacy might, he comes in with the best last race thoroughgraph number. And I think he might enjoy going long. He only went long once, I think, on the turf. I'm willing to forgive him. That was one time. It was bad, but it was one time. I think he's going to do much better. So I have to use both the 4 and the 9.
4 and the 9 logical is here for George. For Skip, how about for you? You got a lot of coverage now. If you get your 2 singles home, do you need to go deep here? How do you want to be set up in this last leg?
I have 4 horses marked. The first one I'm going to mention is a 2, Bad to the Bones. This horse was coming off the break for Ryan Hansen, ran really good behind a very, very slow pace that you guys just talked about. This horse ran good in that race. It hopefully, maybe it needed the race. It came back to work on the 23rd. I like that race behind that slow pace. Bad to the Bones is going to be on my ticket. I'm also going to use the 6 Precision. Listen, it's tough to move a horse up from Michael McCarthy. You know what I mean? But when Hector Palma claims horses, he does very, very well. This horse didn't run a step last time. I don't know what happened, but
he Skip early in the race. He wanted to go, and he kind of they grabbed a hold of him when Silly Rabbit kind of got the lead. And I think just wrapping up on him, it didn't work out. I wouldn't be shocked if this horse is a lot more forward in this race, if they let him run a little bit and let him get out front. He was one of two fun long shots that I thought were at least worth mentioning. So I'm glad you brought him up.
Okay. So the 6, I'm glad you like it. That makes me like it a little bit more there, Gino. My other long shot is the tape, or you like the Chappie likes the 6 also. My other long shot is the 8, Tap It Dynasty for Paul Aguirre. This horse won nicely. I know it was on the dirt. I know it was for maiden 20. It didn't run too bad last time coming off the break for Aguirre. This horse is bred for the top and bottom for the grass. Maybe it needed that race. That was on the 9th. It came back. It worked 4 times since then. Hasn't really missed a beat in the morning. There's a little break between February 1st and February 15th. That might have missed a break. Maybe that's when we were getting all the rain. But at 15-1, Tap It Dynasty, and it's got to be on my ticket. And I really like the work on the 15th. I like the way that it was moving. I like that. 15-1, got to be on my ticket. And then the last one I'm going to use is Bolt Supremacy. Stretching out, Richard Baltas, JJ Hernandez. There's no win machines in here. Look at these. 1 for 25, 1 for 9, 1 for 16, 1 for 24, 1 for 22, 1 for 13. All that being said, I'm going to go 2. I'm going to go 6. I'm going to go 8 and 9. And hopefully we could get lucky enough to hit this thing and have money for Big Cap Day.
Skip, we're very similar in the last race. I think I'm 4, 6, 8, 9. The stuff, the 4 and the 9, they're super obvious. Silly Rabbit. What concerns me though is just there might be a little more speed in this race than there was in that last race on paper, just with the presence of like Joser and then Bolt Supremacy, who's stretching out a little bit from the outside. I wouldn't be shocked if JJ tries to get him close. I mean, if you're just looking at his speed figures and comparing him to the rest, he is way better. He has, 5 of these horses have never even hit a 70 buyer speed figure. And you see Bolt Supremacy getting to that over and over again. And while he is 1 for 21, he only has one race at this level on the turf. The other races, the race on the dirt was 2 starts back. So he hasn't been beaten over and over at this level. But Tap It Dynasty, who you were pointing out, Skip, look at his first 5 grass races. None of them are bad. That 5th, right. He's only beaten a length. He comes back. Charlie's to Blame is a stakes winner. The race behind Day and Age, that race is not bad either in his first start of the year. And then he's 4th following that against Maiden 50s. He's 3rd. None of those races are bad. He goes to the dirt, a few fine races on the dirt. Then January the 9th, he's inside. He's got to move around a tiring rival. He couldn't really find room. He's looking around. It's kind of a tricky in-between trip. He's got like an overall body of work where he doesn't have a lot of bad races. It's just his speed figures are kind of light when you compare them. So I don't know if he's going to get bet a lot. I'll take the 2 obvious horses, the 4 and the 9, and I'll put 2 other fun long shots in them with the 6 and the 8, if I can close out there. Go ahead, Skippy.
Gino, I wanted to mention one other thing. I watched the way this 8 horse Tap It Dynasty worked before its last race and how it worked after. And this horse worked 100% better after that race. The workout on the 15th really caught my eye. So I just wanted to bring that up too. Maybe it even needed that last race because it sure seems to be doing better after that.
Over $45,000 left over in that pick 6 pool from last week. So we start with that carryover. Don't forget there's a carryover in the Sunset 6 as well. The pick 6 sequence starts, Chappie, 2:00 p.m. Pacific time in race number 4. As you were pointing out, 12:30 first post on Friday. And then on Saturday, it'll be noon for the big long card for Big Cap Day.
That it? Yeah, absolutely.
I think Chappie might have been smoking during the break.
I was going to say, joint venture, baby. Pass it over this way, Chappie.
Single them.
Buddy, the munchies, the delay. The red face, the giggling, you know.
I did.
Just saying.
I didn't know if you were like pausing because I like sometimes you freeze, so I didn't know if you were done or not.
Not even 4:20 yet,
So,
Chappie, and you're already there. Jeez, it's still an hour early.
We're all a little delayed. Oh. Anything else, Chap?
I'm going to be sad when they
Hopefully
actually
everyone
fix his
hits their
computer.
I know. It's such a fun part of the show now.
I know, yeah.
It's going to be just boring when it's back to normal.
Yeah, man.
Awesome stuff.
Okay, you usually go on this long rampage, so I thought it cut off already. So I'm sorry. Yeah,
Oh, he's
so
insulting
hopefully
you.
everybody hits. Hopefully,
Just off the rails. Off the
everybody hits
rails.
their pick six, and then we'll be back tomorrow after the last race for Saturday's big card, right on Big Cap Day. So, all right, thanks everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everybody.